assumption is an idea. It's not real, it's an idea that happens and is formed, or a thing that is accepted. So when you go into the workplace, sometimes there are quite a lot of assumptions in the workplace. They're accepted as true, but actually there's no real evidence or proof for this. So things feed into the workplace, and for you, it's okay to avoid assumptions and to use your skills as a human being to find out information, to avoid assumptions. And one of the really key areas that I find incredibly useful is the ability to be able to ask questions, and your right to be able to ask questions in different situations. If you're asked to do something, if you're asked to perform a task, you're absolutely within your rights to ask a question around that task, as why you're doing that task and what do you want from that task, and ask questions also about the people that you're working with. But this is sometimes a bit difficult because there are different types of questions. When we feel emotionally heightened, maybe angry, maybe cross, maybe we're in a rush, under pressure, it's very hard to think about the questioning that we are answering. But this is a language tool, an actual way of using English in order to get more information. So all I've done here is used an example of a really basic question that we might use either personally or professionally. And it might be something that you say, oh, so would you like a cup of tea to somebody? It's a really nice, warm, open, you think you're being friendly, great, all of the standards of behavior that we said in the beginning, but you're not actually inviting loads of information back from that. And it's a very direct question. There's an alternative question which says, what sort of hot drink would you like? So there's two different types of questions that you can use in the workplace, and they are open questions and closed questions. So if we go to our frame of reference that we had as well, the open questions are really, really useful to discover about other people, to discover the information so that we can get onto that common ground. What sort of questions here? The reason for showing you this as well, it is just language. And this is the great thing about my theatre background as well, and the work that we've done with Kitaeba as well, which is about language, and very small changes in language can have a big difference on the way that you are perceived and the way you feel in the workplace. So here, to give you this example of open and closed questions always give you a yes or a no answer. It's as simple as that. And functionally, the language always starts with do, are, or would. So you can write down those words and you can think about the questioning. I just wanted to sort of go back slightly to when we were greeting at the beginning. There was a lovely moment when we were talking about hot drinks, and we were talking about what sort of drinks they were. And Kitaeba from Syria was talking about a type of drink. And I asked a couple of questions. I said, well, what does it taste like? Because I was interested in more than information. I could have said, do you think I would like it? Do you think I might like it? And then I would get yes, and that would be great. And feel, but who's feeling great about that? Me. So I used the question right at the beginning, and it's all before it was recorded as well, is in terms of what is in it, what does it taste like? And it gave me loads of information. I came out knowing that it had ginger in it, and I love ginger, so I can then now have a conversation later on about ginger and about that drink, even though I've never tasted it, and I have common ground. Instead of knowing that I might just like it, or I might not like it. So it's really, really useful to you to use open questioning and to move away from do you, are you, would you. They are also quite subservient ways of being. Yes, would you like me to do this for you? Can I do this for you is another closed question. Instead of thinking, what would you like me to do for you today? That gives you a much broader, and now you're starting to connect to that person and you ask that person to give you information back. Why would you like me to do it? How would you like me to write this for you? You get loads more information back instead of, is this how you would like it done? So is another closed question as well. It's changing and choosing words that help you. So we did some work as well. I'm going to just drop this in with Katiba around positive language as well. So the first slide that I showed you was about having a positive attitude. You're already starting to see that by using this language, do you, would you, is starting to sound quite negative. Whereas what, why, and how is starting to sound much more open, much more positive, and much more communicative. Positive language, quite simply, is the word yes and no. And in our brains, as humans beings, we love hearing the word yes. We just do. And we really don't like hearing the word no. It's just human instinct. So if we want to be positive in the workplace, we need to look for opportunities to use positive language. Positive language meaning yes, thank you, I will, I can. It's not changing your personality. It's choosing words that you use. And you start to implement a positive atmosphere in the workplace. The problem is that you get negative language, that you get no, that you will be told, do it like this. And that is going to trigger you emotionally as well. But it's part of being professional is that you can choose how you want to talk and how you want to behave in the workplace. It doesn't happen easily. It's really difficult, but it's possible. So these are more examples of what you might have in the workplace, just so that you can see the kind of workplace language that you would have. And we can just go through which is positive, which is open, and which is negative and closed. What's working? Open. Did you do this? Immediately, it's very direct and it's a closed question. Where are you getting stuck? That is a lovely open question. It gives the other person a chance to give you so much information and immediately brings you into that common ground that you have in front of you. And as they give you that information, you can start to think about your frame of reference. How do I connect to that person? Ah, okay. They know French. I know French. Maybe it would be easier to talk in that language. You're getting stuck on a language level. It's giving you loads more information onto that common ground, bringing you both out of your frame of reference. Do you agree? Very closed question, but we might think it's an open question, but you're only allowing that person to say one thing or the other. Is this a good time to talk? You might think, I want to do this at 12 o'clock. I want to talk now. But if you put the what in there, what is a good time for you to talk? Suddenly, you have made both of you part of that interaction. And again, it's very positive. You're not triggering the other person by closing them into giving you a yes or a no using negative language. Is this a good time to talk? Can I take this as understood? What will you do differently? What can I do differently? Again, what, where, who, why, open questions. So working as part of a team, a one-team approach is something that you'll hear all of the time. Language is an absolute key part to working as part of a team, and obviously personalities as well. By using your frame of reference, you'll be understanding that everybody in your team comes to you from different areas and different lifestyles and different experiences, and very hard to build trust with people that you don't understand and that you don't have a connection with at all. So it's our responsibility going into the workplace to find opportunities to build that trust using positive language and open questions and thinking about what we have in common with people. Effective communication, communicating effectively means quite simply understanding that people are both different and similar at the same time, and bringing that human element into the workplace in a professional way by using the words that you use. Sometimes, however, it is really, really hard not to blow your top and to not absolutely react. Your closed question and actually just say, well, why are you doing this to me? That's an open question, but why are you doing this to me? The emotions take over. It's really important to stop, think, and breathe. The moment that you breathe, what you're saying to your body is that I need time to think. I need to make space. I need the chemical reactions in my body to go down. And in that moment, remembering your frame of reference and that it's not always personal. Being professional is stopping, thinking, and then acting. And remembering that you do have a choice in the way that you behave.